Winners and losers have the same goal. What sets them apart are their systems. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the processes that lead to those results. So if you want better results, forget about setting goals and instead focus on your system. Adopt the habit of always looking. Inspiration is everywhere, but it's not always going to find you. Instead, you need to go out and find it. Look around you. No matter where you are, there's something to observe and be curious about. However, most artists take a passive approach. They're always waiting for that lightning bolt from the heavens to hit, and it rarely does. So most artists sit around and do nothing. This is why you must take an active approach when it comes to inspiration. And the way you do this is by being present and aware every single day. The more you pay attention to the world around you, the more ideas you will collect. Because remember, creativity is about connecting and combining things. So if you're constantly gathering new ideas, you'll always have something to work with. Now that you're aware and are actively looking, you probably have hundreds and even thousands of ideas. That's why it's extremely important to write them down immediately. Because when you write them down, you clear your mind, which frees up space for the next idea. And it just becomes more real when you can actually see it. In addition, ideas will come to you quickly, so it'll suck if you lose them. It'll lead to frustration, or worse, lost opportunities. Remember, an idea not written down is an idea lost forever. And it's not even hard. We all have a phone with a notes app or a small notebook. All we have to do is pull it out, write it down, and put it away. The biggest problem most artists face is a blank page, a blank canvas, a blank project, simply because they don't know where to start. However, since you've been actively looking and writing down all your ideas, you already have everything you need. Just pull out your notes and find one thing that's calling you. Then build off that one idea. Again, pull out your notes and look for ideas that you can combine and connect with the main idea. And if it doesn't work, just scrap it and move on to the next idea. Then you can add your own perspective. Subtract things, add things, destroy things, polish things. You're an artist, you know what to do from here. But first you must overcome that hurdle and just start, because that's when the magic happens. As an online creator, it's easy to get caught up in the outcome, whether it's money or analytics. As a result, you adapt your art to please the algorithm, and by doing so, you lose what makes your art special and unique. By focusing too much on the outcome, your work will suffer. Therefore, a better approach is to focus on the process. And what you'll soon realize is that your best work emerges in a state of play. Play brings freedom. You'll no longer have to worry about the end result, or how much time and effort something takes. Because when you're having fun, those things don't matter. The joy becomes the reward itself. When you're enjoying yourself, you tackle problems with more energy and depth. And you're able to go at it longer than if you were doing something you didn't enjoy. Sometimes you just have to look at your work as a hobby. You don't keep track of time or focus on the end result, because you're just having fun. That's the feeling you must find in the creative things you do. And the way you find it is simply to play. As mentioned before, the biggest problem artists face is simply getting started. And the reason that happens is because artists are too focused on perfection, whether it's waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect idea. In addition to stopping an artist from starting, perfection also stops an artist from finishing their work. Perfection is an endless pursuit, therefore you will never reach it. At some point in the process, you're going to have to come to terms with the truth, which is the actual creation in front of you is never going to look like the idea in your mind. Therefore, you must make an active decision to say, it's good enough. By embracing this mindset, you relieve yourself from the stress of making something perfect. And then you can just be. Express yourself, have fun, and create. And now we know this is the best day in which to create from. The truth is, when it comes to creativity, there is no finish line. You can work on a project forever, and it'll never be perfect. That's why you must make a decision to stop. Once you get to the point where all your changes and little tweaks aren't adding much to your art, stop. Because if you continue, you run the risk of ruining your art, or worse, never finishing it. And if you never finish, you can never share it with the world. So making the decision to stop is the first step in letting go. However, things get a little scarier once you make that decision, because now you have to share it with others, which leads us to the second step, acceptance. You must accept the fact that you have no control over your art once you give it to the world. I understand that you have an idea of how things are going to play out, but the reality is you never know how people are going to respond to it. So if you proactively choose to end and accept what comes next, you have truly let go. And it's at that point where you choose to move on to the next project.